Hello America, I hope you're all really well. Jamie Oliver here. So exciting news. On the 10th of January, this beautiful book comes out. This is my latest cookbook. It's called One. Everything is cooked in one pan. It's quick, it's easy, it's delicious. Breakfast, brunch, lunch, dinners. We're covering all the bases and I know you're gonna love it. So you can pre-order it now, but what I'm gonna do right now is give you a perfect recipe for the holiday season. This is my gorgeous lemon honey pork ribs. It's absolutely delicious. Very simple ingredients and those ribs are so good. Let's do this. So we're gonna cook it in this pan here. A lovely little kind of casserole pan like this. This is for 4 people. I've got some lovely pork ribs that we're gonna make tender and then we'll glaze at the end so it's really sweet and sour and just falls off the bone. So let me show you how to do it. We'll start with the potatoes. We just wanna cut these into quarters lengthwise, so in half like this. Nice, big, confident, rustic chunks. Just give them a nice little scrub and wash. I love to keep the skins on. It saves me a job, it's more nutritious, and it gives you a more kind of nutty, sort of potato-like flavor, dare I say it. We're gonna go dry into the pan, bear with me, okay? Peel 2 lovely onions, red or white, and then I'm gonna just cut these into quarters. Then fennel, it's a lovely vegetable. A lot of people have still never tried it. It's amazing, it's super delicious, and when you kind of cook it and stew it or roast it, it goes sweet and delicious. Really, really good. So get some nice chunks like that, and we're gonna go in again. And then a bulb of garlic will just break in like that, keeping the garlic in the skin. So for about 10 minutes now, what I'm gonna do is give this a stir every now and again. I'm gonna let it catch and scald, and then I'll add a little bit of olive oil and we'll start to fry it and bring out the sweetness. So we've got the onions, fennel and potatoes in the pan and we're dry frying. So let's just kind of start thinking about introducing some other flavors. So later on, we will glaze with a kind of sort of Greek influence, honey and lemon, right? With pork. It's gonna be sweet and sour and delicious and like tacky and gorgeous. We're gonna treat the ribs almost like a lid on these potatoes, right? We're gonna use it to sort of trap all of that lovely goodness. What I'm gonna do now is just add a little bit of the oregano, right? With some basic seasoning now. Sea salt, pepper, quite generous on the pepper. Now we're going with a couple of tablespoons of olive oil. Can you hear the difference in sound? So move that around. Starts to shine. It feels quite full, and that's good, because as that cooks, it will shrink down and down and down. And I want this to be a lovely, generous meal for 4 people. Let's just talk about ribs. Go to your butcher, ask him for baby back ribs, the sweetest meat. And then you've got all the kind of marrow and the goodness in the bones. We can give it a little kiss of olive oil, and we'll give it a nice little season. And we'll rub that around both sides, like that. So let me just wash my hand. So look, you can see we've got a nice bit of color there now. We've softened up the onions and the fennel. Just go in with about 100 mils of water, just to stop the frying. So that goes in. Let that boil up, and then I'm gonna lay the ribs into the pan. That is what's protecting the vegetables. And as these ribs cook, all the goodness from the bones is gonna cook into those veggies. It's gonna give you the best potatoes ever, right? So we'll squeeze and push that in. So that is gonna go into the oven for an hour and a half at 180 degrees Celsius, right? Which is 350 Fahrenheit. So here we go. That goes in. There you go. In an hour and a half, I'll tell you what to do next. Now, halfway through that cooking time, sort of 45 minutes in, I'm just gonna turn the ribs and give it a little basting and a move around, and that will be absolutely delicious. So halfway through, just turn the ribs over and get those juices basted over the top. Okay, so the ribs have had an hour and a half at 180 degrees Celsius, 350 Fahrenheit. So what I'm gonna do is turn this now down to like 150, which is like just before 300 degrees. So look, here we've got cooked ribs, right? They're not quite tender enough yet. Let's have a little look at them. And the veggies will be soft and tender. Look at that, look, so they're nice and tender, look, right? But we want them more juicy and more tender. The lovely potatoes, they're definitely cooked. The color, the sweetness from the fennel, oh, it's amazing. It's gonna be absolutely amazing. So what I wanna do now is glaze these ribs. So let me show you a little preparation. Just use the zest of the lemon first, and I'm just gonna leave this to one side for when I serve. That's really fragrant and delicious. And then I'll use this juice from a lemon, give it a little roll like that, and it breaks the little capsules. So you'll get maximum juice out of this, and it smells nice. So juice into a bowl, catch the pips in your hand, every last bit of that juice, get it out, really nice. Then we're gonna use honey for the sweetness. About 4 tablespoons of honey, nice runny honey goes in, that much. And then I'll mix that up. So that has to be one of the simplest, and most natural glazes ever. Obviously that sugar can burn and caramelize very easily. So that's why I've turned the temperature of the oven down, right? We don't really need to cook so much now. We need to just let it stick to it and go really gnarly and gorgeous. Now what I like to do is use a herb like oregano. It could be thyme, it could be rosemary if you want. Take a nice little wodge like this and actually use this as a brush, like a painting brush, right? So I love that with herbs. So we'll take that lemon and honey and literally just baste it beautifully over the top of those ribs. Look at it shine. The smell is phenomenal. And once every last bit of it has gone in, what I like to do is then take this oregano and strip it on top, and that will go crispy and delicious. So this will go back in the oven for half an hour. It will smell amazing at this stage. What I want to do as well is just get those little bits of garlic and just squeeze them out. Look at that. And it's so sweet and caramelized and gorgeous. And that's what I love. That's what we've done with this dish. We've really amplified, the sweetness of the onions, the garlic, and the fennel. Look at that. So back in the oven for half an hour at 150 degrees Celsius, which is 300 Fahrenheit. And then I have a little clean down, and then I'll show you how to serve it. Okay, so half an hour is up on our beautiful ribs. It smells amazing. What's lovely about putting that oregano on at the end is you get that amazing fragrant hit. Look at that. Beautiful color. Let's get some of those juices basting. Oh, let's just serve it up. Let's have a little go. Let's get some of those ribs. We'll hack those up like that. You can do little ones, big ones, whatever you want. Little bit of lemon zest over the top. Look at the potatoes. So what I love about this, you kind of get these almost fondant potatoes. And we got the skin on. Look at those sweet onions. Almost jamified. Let's go and get a bit of fennel. I don't miss the fennel. The fennel's actually broken up, and that's absolutely fine. I quite like that. Okay. What I love about this dish is it's rustic, very rustic. Just mix a nice little salad, just with a little olive oil and lemon juice. So there you go, guys. Absolutely gorgeous. Let's try some of these ribs. Lemon, honey, oregano. Really love it, really simple. A lovely method where you use those ribs to create that little lid. Everything flavors each other. I've got to try one of those potatoes. It's a sticky, messy, naughty dish. Oh yeah. Everything good about that dish is in that potato. A beautiful rustic dish from my brand new book, One, out on the 10th of January in the USA. It's gonna be amazing. Please enjoy. You can pre-order it now, but until next time, take care.